Judge today refusing to reverse his decision, letting a convicted murderer stay free on bail until his sentencing.
That ruling coming today after a hearing to consider the prosecution's request that the bond be revoked. Our investigative reporter Brendan Kirby has been following this case.
And Brendan, the DA's office continues to believe this guy is a flight risk.
Yeah, that's right, Byron and Lenise. Prosecutors renewed their arguments on that today, but the judge's original ruling stands. A jury last week found David Cordero Hernandez guilty of murder in the December 2019 death of Tracy Dennis. Prosecutors say the victim was hogtied, stabbed, and shot, and that his body was buried in a backyard. Typically, murder defendants are immediately taken into custody after conviction, but Judge Edward McDermott agreed to let Cordero Hernandez remain free on his original $100,000 bond. Mobile County Assistant District Attorney Lauren Walsh didn't have a whole lot to say after the hearing.
So this was ultimately up to the court, and we did object, but that was the decision made by the court today. Judge
McDermott, a retired jurist who presided over the trial because the permanent judge was suspended, told attorneys that he already had determined that Cordero Hernandez was not a flight risk. He considered arguments based on the fact that the defendant was not wearing an electronic monitoring ankle bracelet and that he went to New Jersey in 2020. But he rejected that after defense attorney Dom Soto said there were no electronic bracelets available at the time that the requirement was imposed, and that Cordero Hernandez went to New Jersey to work but quickly returned and has complied with all the rules since.
Every time something goes wrong with the DA's office that they don't like, they call you guys.
Soto says his client isn't a danger and isn't a flight risk. He says Cordero Hernandez stuck around for 3 years while the case was pending.
You know, Cordero means lamb in Spanish, and he's a very meek guy in special ed and a lot of other mitigating things. He's been the most acquiescent defendant I've ever represented. He's upset, and he's been on an emotional edge.
Theoretically, this decision could be appealed, but with only about a month until sentencing, there might not be enough time. As for the defendant, when he is sentenced, he faces 20 years to life in prison. Reporting live in Mobile, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.